What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're back in our Steam Deck rocking our Jsaux Backplate. And before we get into what this video is about, let's just do a quick thing about what we've done to this Steam Deck. We plastic dipped it, we vinyl wrapped it, we painted it, which we did a crappy job, and the plastic dip's starting to peel off because that's what it's supposed to do, because your boy's been using this case a lot. So we can actually peel this off right now. As you can see, look at this. Comes right off. I love plastic dip. Look at that. It's oddly satisfying how well this comes off. And that's the black paint. Oh, the trim job. All right. So yeah, this thing is to say the least, this Steam Deck has seen a lot, and I think we can fix most of it. All right, so let's go into the main part of the video before I ripped all of that stuff out. So we've done some modifications to this, but the cooling is the ventilation mod, thermal pad mount, and obviously the 40 by 40 mil Noctua fan and the 40 by 40 heatsink. So what we're gonna do today is a viewer had brought this to my attention, this StarTech cooler that he found on Amazon, and this boy is a chunky guy. So this is for like old AM4 platform CPUs, like before they went to the Ryzen, and it is a big boy. It pretty much is gonna take up this whole freaking backplate. This thing is chunky, dude. This thing is so chunky. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see how much better this big old StarTech cooler will do versus a little 40 by 40 mil. Obviously this thing's gonna win. We're just doing this for fun. Question is, does this cord fit this cord? Gang, we're good to go. All right, so right before we do anything, we're gonna just run a benchmark and see how cool this one is. Steam Deck is running. We are gonna plug up our fan. We're gonna need some tape, guys. Fans on full tilt. We clogged our ventilation mod. We are in Tiny Tina's Wonderland. We're doing this because there's an in-game benchmark. All the settings are on medium. One thing I want to say, this Steam Deck is overclocked, where I have a 21 watt TDP on here, 4,000 gigahertz on the CPU and 2200 on the GPU. So we are rocking a modded Steam Deck to the max, because we don't do stock Steam Decks in this channel anymore, because now that we can mod it, why not mod it? We're pushing it. We're pushing it. So all our settings are on medium. Our fan is just going to be pegged around 53. I'm not even going to change that. What I'm going to do to heat up the system is, in the first run, I'm going to clog up the fan, and then we're going to run it again to see how hot it gets. Maybe we should turn, you know what? We're going to turn all our settings to high, because we really want to tax the system. So we're going to go on high presets. About 20 degrees Celsius in the room today. So I allowed it to heat up a little bit. I think we peaked around 75 on the CPU. Still really good temps. Definitely have a lot of room for overclocking, but we're gonna run it again. System should be pretty warm now. Remember, we have high settings. Like the fan just ramped up because it got really hot, so that's fine. That's cool. It's gonna shut down. So one thing I've noticed is the fan will ramp up on its own if this feels like the system's getting too hot. Regardless, it will override the Fantastic plugin, but it'll drop. All right, so we are a little bit warmer this time. We are at 76. Maybe we'll run it a third time just to make sure, but no, 2 times is fine. So we'll call that 76, 72. Who cares? We're not worried about frame rates, but 76, 72. Let's get a quick dB, about 40 dB. Oh, we're peaking. Okay, wait, we're just peaked. 78, 74, 79 there. Steadily at 78 here. So definitely a lot warmer than before. 74, 78 was kind of our peaks right there. 74, 78. Let's just run it one more time. Third time's a charm. So we're roughly where we were at our last one. Oh, there we go, 80. Well, it is getting considerably warmer, but it's just peaking at 80. It's still holding that 74, 78. So I feel very comfortable saying 74 and 78. Let's do one more test, and I just want to show you guys again how well our ventilation mod works in tandem with the Jsaux backplate. So remember, we are at 74, 78 in the last testing. I'm going to go ahead and just unplug this thing now. Our temps are already down by 2 degrees. Steady. 69, 72, 68, 72, kind of that round range. And this is the 4th time running. So this is full heat soak at this point. Yeah, that was definitely cooler, about 6 degrees cooler. What we're going to do next is, now we're going to need to remove this thing. We're going to just leave the Steam Deck running on. It's an external mod, so we don't need to worry about anything. We'll just use a little fire. Did this guy just put a blowtorch on his Steam Deck? Yes, I did. So remember, we actually had a thermal pad on this, so we were making great contact to that backplate. Anyone that puts a heatsink on, if you're not using thermal paste or thermal pad, you're really kind of handicapping yourself a little bit. You want to make sure you have that surface. These metal surfaces aren't completely flat on either end, so on the backplate or on whatever cooler you're using. So always keep that in mind. Here's one of the big problems. This thing is a chungus. This thing is huge, enormous. I think something like that. This thing is so thick, man. Definitely not that great. I don't even know why I'm doing this video. This is kind of ridiculous now. Just a quick comparison between the two. This is how thick this is. Look at this thing. It's like literally maybe 6 times bigger. Is it 6 times worth the cooling capacity? I doubt it. I very much doubt it. So I have a sheet right here that's pretty good size. I'm pretty sure I used this one already. Nope, this is brand new. Whatever. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. It's perfect size though, so. And we're using Gillette thermal pads. It's the best price to performance thermal pad out there, in my opinion. It's great stuff. Love it. Dude, this thing is fucking huge. It's actually pretty stuck on there pretty good. By the way, this thing was $12, so it's not expensive by all means. It's just huge. So how do I want to mount this? Good old rubber band trick. Got nice even pressure. Cool. So let's plug this bad boy back in. Steam Deck is already heating up quite a bit. Fan is running. All right, so we were at 76 earlier, and okay, so we're pretty warm right now. So let's go to options. Let's go ahead and run these benchmarks. Okay, it's slightly quieter than the other fan, actually, and that's a quiet Noctua fan. Our temperatures are exact same as we did with the small fan, but I'm gonna allow this thing to kind of heat up and soak up some more of this heat. Gonna run it one more time. It's pretty much the same, exact same. What a letdown. Which kind of makes sense in a way. Like, is this fan that much, this setup that run? I don't know. Let's run it again. I am definitely a fan of the Jsaux backplate buttons. Definitely, if you were on the fences on getting one, but you really wanted these buttons, get them. Get it. The buttons are nice. The build quality is not there, but buttons are nice. So this is where it tends to peak up. Maybe we are 2 degrees cooler. This is where we were peaking into that 74, 78, and we're exactly how we were prior. So no better. No better than it was before. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for this video. If you, I guess in conclusion, there is no point put a larger fan on the back of your Jsaux backplate. A 40 by 40 mil fan. Oh my God, why is this thing ramping up? Shut up, fan. Cállate. All right, so there's really no point in throwing on a larger fan onto your Jsaux backplate, fan and cooler. As you can see, we gave it the best chance we can get. It is a little warm to the touch now, but the fact is, this is super cheap. This is $12. This actually costs a lot more money. The fan alone is $15, not including the heatsink, which is probably $1, and the thermal pad, which is, this is probably like $2 worth of thermal pad right there, or maybe $1.50. So obviously this is more expensive, plus you need to find a way to power it, which is the same as this. But ultimately you don't need something big and bulky. You could just use something tiny. Look at the size difference. This works way better than this thing. You don't need this big, huge thing. But ultimately, you don't even need to do anything like that. You just need to cut a hole in the back of your Steam Deck and you're good to go. But whatever. That's it for this video, guys. This is something I wanted to do for a while because I bought this thing and I don't want my money to go to waste. And I'm kind of lightweight curious if I can still return it on Amazon because it didn't do what I wanted it to do. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this type of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe. If you have any ideas or any thoughts about this mod, go ahead and hit that comment box below. But other than that, I will catch you on the next one.